The International Space Station was built with dozens of external attachment points that could be used for Earth remote sensing instruments, space science instruments, astrophysics, heliophysics. But early on, the Science Mission Directorate was really concerned about stepping up to use the platform. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One was because at different times in the history of design and assembly, the economic model, people thought maybe you could go to the users and get them to pay for part of the infrastructure and get them to pay for part of the transportation. And that made those potential user organizations really nervous because at that point in time, sometimes even there wasn't a piece of hardware in orbit, and yet somebody was coming after their budgets on a potential future benefit. And that tends to create a lot of tension between different organizations. So one piece of this is to recognize that once you have a human exploration mission, your transportation and your infrastructure are going to be sunk costs. You're going to have to provide those to have a successful mission, and you shouldn't go out to try and save budget by finding someone to stick it to with those budget costs, because it's just going to send potential researchers running away. At the same time, once we got the space station assembled, then the cost effectiveness of that infrastructure being there has drawn the Science Mission Directorate to the platform to work with us strategically and decide which instruments make a lot of sense to put on the platform. Because those sunk costs have been invested by the agency, they can leverage that, and instead of putting an instrument on a free flyer, they can get equivalent science value, sometimes slightly different science, but equivalent value out of investing in an instrument for the space station. And so our relationship really transformed once the assembly of the space station was complete. Human spaceflight has higher both cost and schedule risks than other kinds of space programs. And so that when we have users like astrophysics or earth sciences or heliophysics that have alternative platforms to human spaceflight platforms, they're going to see the human spaceflight platform with concern while there's still cost and schedule risk. And so not making them commit to investments early on is one important component, but then also keeping that relationship open so that the vehicle's set up to accommodate the kind of science that they might want to do when that cost and schedule risk comes down. Then they're able to come in and interface. And I think that's a key to having that dynamic relationship, not to put their ongoing science at risk, but also to keep that choice open so that they can choose the most cost-effective platform.